Hello, world. Okay, so in California, we're glad that you're on, but your microphone or your background noise, it's all garbled. Okay, so we keep muting you because the sound is not good. So in California, if you can hear me, if you can fix the microphone or mute, leave it on mute because we can't understand you. Also, the camera's at a kooky angle and it's not focused. So if you can, there we go. Okay, better, better, great. But now it's pointing at the floor, so that doesn't. And let me do this, just in, sometimes our sound is not that good, so let me do that. Okay, so, no, it's not understandable. You sound like Minnie Mouse, so we've got to. Yeah.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
What if you drop
Okay, well, okay, so hopefully on your screen, California, there was a chat box popped up and it says, type what you're saying, please. Stop unmuting the call. It's garbled and very high pitched. It sounds like Minnie Mouse on helium, right?
Yeah.
Except it's also not understandable as Minnie Mouse. Hi there. We see you. So these students in California are there on a Friday, so they don't have school. This is open. So Rose and I'm not sure if Dennis is there, but Rose and or Dennis are there on Fridays for any students who want to come in for extra time.
Okay.
So, but they're Monday through Thursday, but they can come in on Friday to work. So that's people that are committed. Okay, sort of like our people who walk to school 2 miles uphill in the snow,
And the wind.
both directions. Okay.
Seems that way.
So, okay, so this is our weekly memorization and prestidigitation. We haven't had anybody do prestidigitation since in the other building, right?
Yeah.
Like August? Who did prestidigitation? Oh, he was the friend of Dragon. Timmy.
The light-skinned bald guy.
Timmy. Oh,
And
you're talking about McLean, Robert
Yeah,
McLean?
Robert. Yeah.
Robert and Timmy did. So you can do prestidigitation here if you don't have recitation, memorization.
So pull a rabbit out of a hat, you still get credit.
Yeah, okay, anything that's magic, because that works on people too. Okay, so let's see, we have about 8 people in here today to do it. Again, this is probably one of the most important parts of the school for getting a job, is being able to articulate what you know, being able to remember, articulate, be persuasive, and this will be a big part of in the future for the management stuff, but then that's going to trickle down as that will trickle down to everyone else. Because if you're doing a job interview, or like when Emily Salisbury was here from UNLV, the idea of seeing how people were at the beginning and then seeing them 16 weeks later, if you go from the purple cow and the red wheelbarrow to Hamlet's soliloquy or Mark Antony's speech, that's really impressive. If you are still reading, what's the second week? No, I thought that was the third week.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful faces are. Okay, if you're doing that after 16 weeks, not really good. Not really good. So that means you either can't remember or you don't care. And you know, the harsh reality of life is employers only want two things: to make money and save money. That's the only reason they hire people. They don't do it because they're nice guys. They might be nice guys too, but they don't hire people because they're nice guys. They hire people to make money and save them money. And they want to hire people who care and who can do things. So if you're perceived as an employee who either doesn't know, can't learn, or doesn't care about the employer, guess what? Not good. Not good. I remember in September of 2014, Tony Hsieh had hired, had about 200 very cool people working in the downtown project. And they were very cool because they would wear sandals and shorts and have a backpack. Remember that, Ed?
Yeah.
Okay, and they were kind of condescending to everyone else that wasn't cool. And they didn't have to shave, they didn't have to look professional because they worked for Tony Hsieh, who had a couple of years earlier made $1 billion selling Zappos to Amazon. And he hired all of these very clever, cool people to go turn downtown Las Vegas, which was what? 5 years ago. Slum, bad news, a lot of drugs, right? Western Hotel, rough place, right?
I wasn't there 5 years ago.
Turn that. So what are you saying, Ed?
I don't know.
Okay. So to get a bunch of really cool, smart people to turn that from a bad place into a really cool place. And after a year, 38 people got let go right before Life is Beautiful because they were not producing anything. And it was perceived that they didn't care about Zappos, they only cared about themselves. And it was more important for them to make a statement by the way they looked and acted than it was to actually do what Tony Hsieh had expected them to do, which was turn this bad thing into something good as an example for other cities around the country. And what do you think they did once they got let go?
Left town.
Well, after that, before that, they blamed him.
Well, media did too.
Yeah, well, the media did, but in fairness to the media, I'm on Tony Hsieh's side, but in fairness to the media, Tony Hsieh's people didn't handle it right. So what were some of the things they complained about? He doesn't work long hours, comes in late, he's out partying.
But he's the owner. He's the guy signing your checks.
He gives $1 million to his friends that
You
have
say
ideas.
that's what the media complains about?
Well, this was the things in the paper about him. This guy, bad guy, he's out partying late. Well,
I don't think that was it.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I think it was gentrification is not always good. And
No, there's not gentrification down there.
the identity of the downtown neighborhood is being taken over by these people who want to turn everything into a bar hopping party spot.
No, that was before. When he got rid of these people, there was a whole wave of Tony Hsieh got rid of these people. Boo, he fired me. And here's what Tony Hsieh's really like. He's out partying early in the morning. His friends have ideas. He gives them $1 million for their business ideas.
They have to get a tattoo of him.
Okay. And so, what Tony Hsieh's PR people should have said is, look, give the guy a break. He sold his company for $1 billion. He doesn't have to come to work at 8 in the morning.
Absolutely.
And hey, isn't that a good friend? Wouldn't that be a good friend of yours? He made $1 billion and he says, hey, I want to spread the thing.
Yeah.
You have an
And
idea?
he's learning a little humility by failing, and that's good.
I'll give you $1 million with your idea, or with these very cool people. Hey, I gave them a shot. We told them what we wanted to do. We gave them a shot. They didn't produce. Why should they be treated better than a normal working person? Normal working people don't, but he didn't do that. They went down undercover, and Tony resigned as president of the downtown project and put somebody else in, and they just didn't handle it right. But the point is still the same, that employers, even if you're Tony Shane, you get $1 billion and you're able to give people a year to produce, it's still the same. If you don't care or you can't do it, you just aren't going to be around.
So he hired the wrong people?
No, I don't think he hired people that were good, but they did not have, the expectations were not clear. Something happened. It's sort of like here. You know, my expectation is the attitude that I try to get across to people is employers want people who have an attitude of what can I do to help you? That's what employers want. Employers don't hire people who say, what can you do to help me? Employers don't hire people who say, well, I'm not getting paid to do that. I'm paid to be a clerk. That's trash on the floor. I'm not paid to pick up the trash. I'm paid to be a clerk. If I see trash on the floor, that's somebody else's job, or it's not my job. So don't expect me to pick it up because it's not my job. But what does a customer think if they see trash on the floor?
Everybody is failing by not cleaning it up. The whole company's a failure.
Yeah, that it's not good. And so people who have the approach of, hey, all I have to do is show up, that's good enough, that's not going to work out there. And here, you know, what I obviously don't do very well is get across the message of getting people to take an attitude of what can I do for you? You know, when I went to elementary school, we didn't get free coffee. When I went to middle school, we didn't get free coffee. When I went to high school, we didn't get free coffee. When I went to college, we didn't get free coffee. And when I went to law school, we didn't get free coffee.
When did you get free coffee?
Never. But here, there's an expectation that we're supposed to bring free coffee to people. People have an attitude. Our deal has always been what, Phyllis?
You just did that to help out?
Well, our deal is
Keep the area
we'll do
clean,
that. It
and-
needs to be clean and the garbage needs to be taken out.
Do a little chore and there's a bill.
That's always been the deal. We get, and especially when it was last year, and a lot of people were from Salvation Army, that when they have to walk from Owens to Fremont 7th,
Oh, that's okay.
it's flat,
Yeah.
but it's cold or it's hot.
Yeah.
That we would have coffee for people because it's hot. Okay, it's just it's not a big deal, but we shouldn't be expected to have to clean up after everybody too, right? Now last year, Fred, well, it's more than that. Every day he just said, I'll take the garbage out every day. I'm not going to have a problem with it. I don't feel anything
We used to
bad.
do it as a team.
And so it was good. But here, virtually every day I come in, still trash in the garbage can. Nobody feels they have a duty to do it. And that's not what good employees do. Good employees say, how can I help you? Because they know that if they do something to help, they're going to get, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And, for whatever reason, here we kind of have an attitude of, I'm entitled. This is, all I have to do is show up, and I don't really have to try that hard. I kind of have to pretend I'm trying. And I'm not saying everybody, but if one person has that attitude, that's more contagious than other people saying, let's do this. Let me do more. And, an example, FedEx. How did FedEx start?
Well, one plane, one truck.
No, started much worse than that. Started with the guy
who went to jail for fraud.
Was stealing his brother's money or something?
Right, and then he
No,
ran
he was
somebody
in
down
Bedlam?
drunk and
he was a wealthy guy, spent his trust fund, almost had the business in place. Then he started forging his sister's signature and took all of her money out of her trust fund. She went to the cops. He went to trial. He lost. Then he decided, back in those days in the 70s in Tennessee, you know, okay, you're convicted, you got 30 days to get your affairs in order, and then everybody says, I gotta go get drunk, I can't, this is too tough. He went and got drunk. Driving home, got in a car wreck, killed somebody, and left the scene of the crime.
And because it was the 70s and he's rich, what happened to him?
Well, he didn't give up. He didn't give up. And he kept going, but he had this attitude of, we don't give up. And so when FedEx started, their motto was what?
We'll be the fastest.
Nope.
It has to be there overnight.
Absolutely.
Positively has to be there overnight.
Absolutely, positively overnight. That was it. If there was one package going on a plane, guess what happened? The plane went with one package because it was absolutely, and every week or every month they'd have to sell the planes to have enough money to pay the bills, and then when they collected the money, they would buy the planes back.
Why did they lease them?
They were leased, but they would have to keep buying them, you know, doing that whole transaction. Pilots believed so much in the venture, they used their credit cards to buy fuel.
They had stock.
No, they might have had stock options, but they believed so much. The philosophy there was, we're only as good as our worst people, so every month we're going to get rid of the bottom 10%.
Which will, the cream will rise to the top.
Now, how do you feel if you're on a fire crew and people are not, has anybody here been on a fire crew? Okay, so if you're on a fire crew and the guys behind you aren't doing their job, they're just kind of doing this.
Well, they're a threat. They're a threat. That's how I feel about it.
They're lazy.
They'd be a threat to me. They'd be a threat to me. That's how I would look
Okay,
at it.
well,
Not a threat to take my job, a threat to have me killed by fire.
well, no, you're not gonna be worried about the fire.
Well, that's what I would worry about.
When you were out there, you wouldn't be worried about the fire. You'd be saying, why am I busting my ass in this heat,
Okay.
doing my job, and these people are just doing, hey, what's
So you have a
up?
bunch of freeloaders on the crew.
Yeah, right, okay. Now, on the other hand, if the thing was the bottom 10% of our crew every week is dropped,
Wow.
you start feeling good about your crew. Everybody wants to have the best crew. And here, do they have an annual competition between fire camps? Who's the best fire camp? Okay, in California they do. Yeah, and they take it very seriously.
Yeah.
Third prize is
Yeah.
We used to cut brush going up the mountain, hiking the mountain against other crews.
Yeah,
Who was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how did you feel? See, I can see you're excited and happy
Yeah.
about just remembering that,
Yeah.
of who can be the best as opposed to who can be the worst,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But some people aren't wired that way.
They're not, but the purpose of this program is to get people to do that,
Absolutely.
especially if you're not paying. You know, if you're paying, it's okay to say, well, I'm paying my tuition, I can be the kind of student I want. But when you're not paying and the school's reputation is affected, that's not kosher. We're failing in what we do. So just as Tony Shea wasn't good at communicating the message to his cool people, and it's not really Tony Shea, but whoever was supposed to be communicating, there are expectations about performance. It's not we're hiring you because you're cool and we're hiring you to act cool. Okay, they weren't hired to act cool. They were hired to turn downtown into a cool place.
I bet they weren't cool either.
Well, they were amongst
They
themselves.
tried to be cool. Yeah.
Amongst themselves, they were all cool. But to other people, they were this effete group of
Hipsters.
unexperienced people who thought they knew all of the answers. And, but it was a good experiment. It was worthwhile doing. So I don't have any criticisms of Tony doing whatever he wants with his own money.
I think he's cool.
I saw him last night down at his thing. He's very approachable. Anyway, so here, this memorization thing is really one of the most important things. This is one of the things to take advantage of. This is something that's on the internet forever, and you have the choice of how you want to be viewed and remembered. So my suggestion is to do the best you can. And if you don't have things memorized, don't read an easy one. Okay, because that just makes you look
Lazy.
less good. I mean, if you have to read Pippa Song, don't read Pippa Song, read the Gettysburg Address or something like that, and try to do. Loretha was, I don't know if anybody remembers Loretha. She's only been gone a week, so I know that that's. But Loretha was good at reading stuff. She put her, she just didn't say the words. She put enthusiasm into it. So if you have to read something good, but not something long. Because, why read something long? Just read something good and try to know what it's about if you're going to read it. So, okay, now what I would say is let's move on to the next part. Who's the director person? Who?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so what does that mean when I say the director person?
I'm the person that tells what he's going to say, what they're going to recite, and
Huh?
oh,
Stage
man.
manager now.
Slide on the stage.
No,
Oh.
I thought you were doing quite on the set.
3, 2, 1.
No. Okay, people, this isn't that hard.
You got it.
3, 2,
Alright.
okay. And then if you're doing it, the first thing you do when you get to that is to take a breath. Okay? Because when it comes to editing, you want to, those little seconds matter. Also, try to look into the camera. And when we used to have the chair, don't do this. Okay? Anybody remember that? Anybody like that? Just back and forth doing their,
Fourth grade.
huh?
Fourth grade, I used to do that.
And don't erase the numbers on the board.
Yeah, that happens
Yeah.
all the time. Somebody
Yeah.
stands right against that and rubs it with their shoulders.
Okay.
Oh, you stranger.
No, it's not me. Try to look in the camera because that is a very good thing. I have a hard time doing it.
In front of a group, it's hard.
Who was the person that, Jesse was very good at
Yeah.
looking in the camera. And when you watch somebody looking in the camera, when you're watching there and they're looking in the camera, it is much more effective than not.
Okay.
So try to look in the camera. So, and again, for our veterans, you want to put your best foot forward. And anyone, everyone else too, but, especially you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to get ready, California. And I say if you're nervous, get it over with. Try to go first. Who wants to go first?
Marty does.
Marty? Okay, good. Excellent. That was really ready to go. Let's see, and I heard, okay.
Quiet on the set.
And
Smile.
3, 2.
My name is Marty Burnham. I'm on my 17th or 15th week at Larson Training Center.
Wow.
And I'm not quite comfortable with, I'm going to be reading from If by Rudyard Kipling, 1865 to 1936. Next week I'll be ready to recite it by memory. If you could keep your head when all about you are losing their heads and blaming it on you, you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies. For being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet don't look too good nor talk wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss. and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance, run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Okay, good job. Yeah, very good. Do you have any thoughts about what that's about?
I feel like if you stay true to yourself, and if you stay true to yourself, you can conquer any obstacle.
Okay, so any idea who Rudyard Kipling was?
I don't.
Okay. Matt?
He was a British author who spent most of his time in the East India, Burma, Mandalay. Mandalay was his Mandalay Bay was based on his stories.
Okay.
What's his most famous?
Kipling, geez, his most favorite story was probably Gunga Din.
No.
Okay.
That was good. Jungle.
Oh, I hate that.
And he has there was a movie with Sean Connery and
Oh,
Michael
Men
Caine.
Would Be King.
Right. Yeah. That was a good story. So he was a British guy brought up in India.
Okay.
And he was a newspaper man too. But
Colonialism.
huh?
Colonialism, the pith hat.
Right. So so that's kind of like what life is all about, that poem.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens when things go wrong, everyone blames you.
Yeah.
He invented the term white man's burden.
I did not know that. Okay, thank you, Marty.
Thanks.
Good job.
Hey, Marty. Who's
Next.
next? I'll go next.
Wait.
Good job, Marty.
I got someone's potential.
You do, Marty. You do have potential.
Quiet on the set.
No.
Cut.
3, 2. You have to do it. Oh. No.
Phyllis, start out again.
Quiet on the set.
3, 2. No.
The word three. The word
You have to
two.
be able to do
Silent
this
one.
at the same time. 3, 2.
Silent one.
3, 2,
You gotta say it.
3,
Wait for Phyllis.
Quiet on the set.
3.
Hello, my name is Matt Gordon. This is my 5th week here at Larson, following Marty's poem, one in a similar vein I'm going to be doing called Smile. Let the others cheer the winning man. There's one I hold with worthwhile. 'Tis he who does the best he can, then loses with a smile. Beaten he is, but not to stay down with the rank and file. That man shall win another day who loses with a smile.
Great, good job. Now let me ask you this question. You're going for the Chromebook, right?
Yes, I am. I'm
Okay.
1 week behind because last week we didn't do it.
Okay.
So that's why I'm doing week's 4's poem on week 5, and I'm gonna have to double up one of the
Sooner
weeks.
rather than later.
Yeah, I know, but
What's next week?
next week is Browning's poem, I think.
People song?
No, Elizabeth.
Oh, How Do I Love Thee?
Yes,
Okay.
pretty sure.
You did people song last week.
Yes,
Last
2 weeks ago. Yes.
time? Okay, good job. Excellent. Good. Okay, there goes Deanna. Now, everybody should still know the red wheelbarrow, right? So if you're going to read something, at least also do the red wheelbarrow or purple cow.
Quiet on the set.
3,
Hi, my name is.
What did I do there?
Sorry, Deanna.
You're fired.
Two.
Say three, say
Three.
two, the silent one.
3.
No.
3, 2.
I did say 2.
No, you didn't. You went.
Oh man. Okay, ready? In 3. Somebody else do it.
Marty, would you demonstrate, please?
No, Marty, you do it.
3, 2.
Hi, my name is Deanna, and this is my 15th week at Larson Training Centers, and I will be reciting Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. Pretty sure that's what it is, Lewis Carroll. And this is my second attempt. Okay. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy toves, did gyrie and gimble in the wavy. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mummy rats outgrabe. Beware of the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware of the Jube bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal's sword in hand, long time the maxim foe he sought. So rested he by the tumtum tree, and stood awhile in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock came whiffling through the tulgey wood. And I want to start over. Can I start over?
Sure, of course.
Because it all flows. Okay. Okay, second. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy toves, did gyrie and gimble in the wavy. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mummy rats outgrabe. Beware of the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. The claws that, or the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the. Beware. I am so nervous. Beware the Jube bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. I know this. I know it. He took his purple sword in hand, long time the maxim foe he sought. So rested he by the tumtum tree, and stood awhile in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, and the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through. The vorpal blade went snicker snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumping back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, Fabius Day, Calloo Calais, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy toves, did gyrie and gimble in the wavy. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mummy rats outgrabe.
Good job.
Okay, got it.
Good sticking with it. So you know what happens when your brain is frozen? When you forget? What's going on in your mind?
Concentrate on something else.
Something, you're thinking about something else. I'm sorry.
You're not in the moment.
From
nervous.
Mahali's, isn't it Mahali flow, where we only can process 110 bits per second. When people freeze up, they're thinking about something else.
Thinking about being nervous makes you nervous, which
Yeah, you start thinking, boy, I'm nervous, and then how can you be? We can't really think of two things at once, and then we forget where we are. Okay, so do you want to go do that one now? Because it seems like you know Jabberwock.
No, I don't know
How about that one?
that well. Oh, yeah, I do not know it that well.
Okay, what do you want to go do?
Can I do Jack and Jill?
Is that on the list?
Yeah, but I
What
mean,
is it?
yeah,
Jack and
usually
it's in the book.
you know
I
the
know
thing.
it's in the book. We were going to raise that question. Is it on the list?
No.
It's not on the list, but this is what I have left.
Who's got the book? Okay, can you ready to cut
Oh.
when he gets it wrong?
All right. All right. I'm a student that was here before.
All right. You gotta wait.
Okay.
Breathe. Deep cleansing yoga. Phyllis is getting the page.
Quiet on the set.
3, 2.
All right, I'm Memorization and I'm going to recite Humpty Dumpty. The reason I chose this.
Slip, Jack, slip. You did say Jack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, skip. All right. Ready?
No, we're not ready.
Quiet on the set.
3, 2.
I'm Edward Edge and I'm going to recite Jack and Jill. The reason I chose this is because most people don't know the whole Jack and Jill recital, you know. So Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. Jill came tumbling after. Up Jack got and home to trot as fast as he could caper. To a damn old dog past his knob, vinegar and brown paper.
Yeah.
Now, I said that because you hear the little parts of Jack and Jill, and usually you don't hear the entire Jack and Jill.
Tumbling after it, that's it. That's all I knew.
So there you go.
Good job.
Most people don't know.
It's true.
So I didn't know you until
No,
I took.
I thought
So I was
that
like,
Jack takes off, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ed, how did you, when did you memorize that?
Oh, the first time.
Oh, you said it the first time through? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I didn't even
We
know.
had a
it was-
different list then. 2 years ago, we had a different. Many of them were different, I should say. So, good.
Next.
Ready? Jesus or Larry? That's it?
That's it.
Come on, Larry. Okay, Larry, good job. Good energy. Push your corner. I think this is too.
Quiet on the set.
Hello, my name is Larry Spellman. This is my second week of memorization for Larson's Training Center. I think I memorized the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I kind of forgot that I had to memorize 2 poems, so I'm going to read the other one. It's called Beautiful. Beautiful faces are they that wear the light of a pleasant spirit there. Beautiful hands are they that do deeds that are noble, good, and true. Beautiful feet are they that go swiftly to lighten another's woe. Thank you.
You made one little mistake in the plate.
But if it was before 1954, you would have been right. Is that true? Under God, you can go into the Eisenhower
If you
administration.
knew that. Under God.
Under God.
That was a
Okay,
McCarthy
that's
thing.
okay. Good job. Good effort, good speaking. You're relaxed, or you seem relaxed. Are you nervous?
Yes.
You're nervous? Well, you did a good
Yeah, you
job.
did good. Okay, big man. It's money time.
All right. Okay, good. Good attitude.
$8 on it.
Quiet on the set.
3, 2.
My name is Jesus Sanchez. This is my 7th week at Larson, and I will be reading 23 Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. He leadeth me in paths of righteousness of his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with thy rod, or thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in presence of mine. Enemies thou anointest my lead with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Good. Now, were you nervous?
Yes.
Why?
Because I couldn't like pronounce like 3 words. I was anticipating for me not to like pronounce them right.
Ah, okay. What ones did he mispronounce?
Anointed, yeah, which one was it?
Okay, what else?
Anointed and then restore. Restore.
Restore.
Yeah, well, restores.
The King James thing is throwing a little bit. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Now, wasn't this recited in a movie
That
with Samuel Jackson?
oh no, that was I shall lay down my vengeance on thee with a great and furious anger. Yeah, that was a little different.
Okay. I think you needed it. Okay, good. So thank you, World, for being there. Oh, John, do you want to recite any poetry that you remember?
Prepared, but I could.
From just your youth, when you were a Ute?
Oh, as a youth,
That you wrote.
yeah. That's
Remember
going back
anything?
a long way, you know, my youth.
Okay, maybe next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. Terrific. So, see, John works in the legal business for how many years?
3.5.
Okay, so 3.5 years. So you're used to dealing with attorneys, right?
Yeah.
And you can't be reluctant to talk with attorneys, right?
You can't be reluctant to talk, you know, they generally want the answer that they asked for, that they prefer.